Lesson 10, Payment Plans and Making Choices. Let's start with a question, and we're going to work through this question and learn how to make decisions using interest rates. For your first job after graduation, you have decided to accept a contract position. The manager is offered to pay you $30,000 at the end of the first year and $35,000 at the end of the second year, or to pay you $22,000 now, $20,000 at the end of the first year, and $20,000 at the end of the second year. Which option is better and by how much if interest is at 10% simple? Use today as your focal date. So let's talk about comparing two choices. What we do is we pick a focal date, or one is given to us. And in the truth, it doesn't matter which one we choose. The better choice is the better at any time. Usually or often we use today. Today is a good focal date because computing it is nice. Then what we do is we compute all values at this date. And then we pick the best one. And the best one is the one where either we have the most money or we pay the least money, depending what it is. What we're going to do to help us is draw what's called a timeline. Timelines are something we're going to be doing a lot of in this course. So I'm going to draw two of them. One of them was perfect and one of them was not. And I'm going to put in the times. 0 is today. All the times mentioned in the problem. 1 year, 2 years. 0, 1 year, 2 years. And I've drawn two of these because I have two options. My options are A and B. Okay, let's put in our money. I like to say that money into my account is going to be an arrow down. So this money goes into my account at 1 year. In option 1, I get two payments, one at a year and one at 2 years. So I get $30,000 and then I get $35,000 2 years from now. $65,000 in total, but not for a while. In option B, I'm getting $22,000 right away, $20,000 in a year, and another $20,000. Looking at this, just so you can see the total, here it's $65,000 over the 2 years, but I have to wait a while until I get it. In this one, it's 40 plus 22 is a little bit less. It's $62,000. But the fact that I'm getting some of it today is good. So now I'm going to use some arrows to show that I'm going to move everything to the focal date. Circle the focal date, that's today, and I'm going to move this over. When we move something backwards, we are starting with a future value and we're ending with a present value. So what I'm going to do is find the present value of each of those payments and then add them together. So here I've got present value 1 is $30,000 and it's going backwards 1 year at simple interest, and that was 10% interest. So that's what's happening. Present value 2 is $35,000 over 1 plus times 1. Let's just pull the calculator back up. So let's look at those together. 30,000 divided by 1.1 is 27,000-ish. Here, sorry, this should be a 2 here because it was 2 years. Just going to highlight that 2 because it's going 2 years. I'm going to store this as well. And then I'm going to do my present value 2 is $35,000 divided by 1.2. And that gives me 29,166. So my present value, how much this is worth, is found by adding those two things up, and it's $56,000. So you can use the calculator. I've already worked this out ahead of time, so you can believe me that it's $56,439.39. Let's go on to the second example. So I'm finding present values for each thing. Future value 1 was $22,000, future value 2 is $20,000, and future value 3 was also $20,000. So present value 1, well, that's just $22,000. It's not moving anywhere. When something stays still, we don't need to worry about interest. Present value 2 is going to be that $20,000 divided by 1 plus 10% times 1. And present value 2 is going to be the same sized payment, but it's worth a bit less because I'm multiplying that 10% times 2. So my present value for this is going to be adding all those three things together. And I'd like you guys to try this in your calculator, and you should end up with the same answer as me. And that is 56,848.48. So what would you choose? Well, I don't know about you, but I would choose this one. Let's put a sentence down there. And that sentence is option B is worth more in what we call today's dollars by today's interest rate. So it is a better option. And part of that is, the big part, is that upfront money. Getting that $22,000 today is really worth a lot.